This is going to be a bit of a different video because I just feel stuff right now that I just want to get out, I guess. I'm not going to name any names. I just got done attempting to have a communication with somebody who just wanted to have a neutral conversation about Christianity versus atheism. And, you know, I have Christian friends, but there's a big rift between me and them. There's no equal ground. There's no, you know, it's like, as long as I keep my distance and they keep their distance, I can continue to be their friends. But it's really hard for me to have somebody that I don't know, who doesn't know me, come along and try to diagnose me. Are you, you know, maybe my blame is misplaced. I should be blaming Christians and not God. Or, you know, how do I know there's no such thing as Jesus, or he never existed? Just kind of like trying to dig into the things that I think and have concluded after reading a lot of books and kind of snooping around, researching things like how the Bible was put together, or the supposed evidence that Jesus actually lived, which try finding some. Anyway, this is not really what I wanted to say, but it's just kind of like my trying to get into the video so I can kind of say what I wanted to say. What I found out from this exchange is there's no even ground. It's like, on one hand, the person is being really, really nice, and they want to be my friend or whatever. They want to have a nice, pleasant conversation, and they're telling me that they would like to see me go to heaven someday and whatever. But, you know, and they I can't talk now. The God that they represent, that they believe in, is this loving, caring God who sympathizes with all the bad stuff that I had to go through, you know. And then it's like, but you praise and worship and support and agree with a God, with your God, who basically is going to send me to everlasting damnation and hell if I am never able to believe again. I'm going to go to hell. I'm going to suffer forever for not being able to believe. And these really nice, warm, friendly Christians who, you know, the ones that aren't actively trying to create division, you know, the ones who aren't actively being intolerant of other people, want to be, you know, want to be friends with everybody, and at the same time, they agree that if I don't start believing the way they do, I deserve to be tormented and punished and whatever, tortured forever in hell by their supposed loving deity who knowingly made me incapable of belief, or knowingly put things in my path to cause my belief to shatter, because it's all part of his plan. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time with looking at Christians, even the nice ones, and understanding how nice people can actually praise and worship a God who did what this one did in the Old Testament, threatens what he threatens to all people like myself who can't believe. He threatens people like myself with eternal torment and suffering. You know, and it's like, I want to be nice back. I want to write nice, pleasant, warm, and fuzzy notes back and have a nice, happy communication, except it's like every question I'm being put on the defensive, and I'm, well, you know, why are you, it's like, you know what? Why do you worship this thing? Are you okay with what he's done? All the crimes against humanity that is described in detail in the Old Testament, if you just read it, why are you okay with that? How can you continue to say that he's a loving God? And that he sympathizes and he cares, and I shouldn't blame him. I should, if the Christians are lousy Christians, I should blame the Christians, certainly not this warm and fuzzy and loving God. I have a real hard time with that. And I'm realizing that it's really hard for me to look at a Christian who believes in this God and believes in this religion and looks at me like I'm damaged goods that they need to fix. Ooh, get to the bottom of what she really has a problem with so we can fix her. I have a problem with that. And it just makes me realize, and I don't like to use the word enemy, but I think that's what I am. I'm an enemy. You want to be my friend. You want to be warm and fuzzy and have a nice warm and fuzzy exchange. But you represent something vile and something that I really oppose, that I think is a horrible wrong in the world and causes bad things in the world and continues to cause bad things in the world. It stifles science. It stifles education. It stifles advancement of society. It flies in the face of reason. It discourages free thinking. It goes on and on about having the right to flaunt itself all over the place, but heaven forbid that anybody else wants to flaunt their beliefs or even just make a small little token like the monument in Florida that, I guess that didn't pass, but the Ten Commandments is sitting right there. That's okay. But the atheist monument, no, we can't have that. No. We got to have it on our money, but heaven forbid if atheists complain about the fact that we get angry if you don't say Merry Christmas. I guess I am an anti-theist. I not only think Christianity is wrong, I think it's vile. I think it's a poison. I think it's a wrong. I know it did a lot of bad stuff for me, but I also see bad stuff it's doing now. I look in the Bible and I see all the bad shit it did in the past. Maybe not Christianity, because Christianity did not exist in the Old Testament, but holy shit, the God that these guys lift up on a pedestal and say, "Woo, he's just so warm and fuzzy. Look what he did in the Old Testament," and tell me how that is justifiable. How can you justify that? How can you say that's okay? Because God did it. No! I'm sorry, but what's funny is Christians have this idea of morality, and yet their God is completely not measuring up to that idea of morality. He kills. He slaughters, he commits abortion, he lies. He encourages slavery, or he even gives permission, detailed instructions on how to keep a slave. Anyway, this is a rant in case you haven't figured it out. I'm just tired of, I don't want to play the game of, I do really care for people, and I really do think that there are a lot of nice people out there who are Christians. I was one of them. I have Christian friends. As long as they don't try to look at me like something they can fix, as long as they don't look at me like a project that they can fix, or look at me like for some reason I'm less than they are or whatever. As long as they don't invoke their religion every chance they can get. I'm trying to think. I just had something happen recently that kind of pissed me off. There was something on Facebook that said, God first, what did it say? God first, family second, Seahawks third. And it just pissed me off. It's like, can't we enjoy having a championship team? Just enjoy the team for the great job that they did this season. The hard work they put into it. Why do we have to fucking invoke Christianity and put God into the mix. Oh, okay, so some of the people on the team are Christians. Great. How does that, why do we have to put that out there for all Seahawk fans to have to endure? It's just, I get so sick of it. God has to be shoved in the face of, in every single thing. We have to have God in there somewhere. It gets old. It just gets old. You know, I don't see, that's my problem. I guess if I even explained my problem, I'm just ranting, as I said. I guess the longer I'm an atheist, the harder it is for me to meet somebody halfway and talk without getting angry. I get angry when I try to talk to a Christian now. I get angry because it never comes across to me like, really, Diane, you know, so and there's no interest in what there is about atheism. There's no interest in what I believe. There's no interest in the joy that it brings to my life, the huge difference it's made in my life. There's no interest in that. When Christians want to talk to me, there's no interest in what do you get out of being an atheist? How has that changed you? How does that change your perceptions of the world? And there's never questions like that. It's always, well, why did you deny God? Well, maybe you didn't have a real conversion. Well, you know, how do you know that it's why do you blame God when it's, you know, I think you're blaming the wrong thing, or, you know, like trying to come up with excuses, and maybe you just need to rethink it, or maybe you need to see it in a different way, and everything will be great, and you'll just go right back to believing again, and I can be happy because I won a soul over to my side and get brownie points in heaven. Just angers me. It's like it's always trying to fix me, and I get tired of it. I am fixed. I was never broken. See, any damage that was done by this religion. And then I had the question, well, what do you have against? Do you have against God or Christians? I had to think about that. You know what I have against is the religion and this God. I have a lot against this God. I think he's vile. And these Christians that walk around like, oh, we're all, you know, God is such a loving God, and we're, you know, we couldn't possibly do good without God, and oh, it's like there's nothing that I'm not against. If Christians would just leave other people alone and respect that they have other beliefs that are equally important to them, if they would just fucking leave people alone and not put God, family, Seahawks on shirts where, I'm sorry, the Seahawks and the Super Bowl had nothing to do with God and everything to do with just playing the game well, coming through for their fans. That's it. It's everything. We have to worm our way into every fucking thing. It gets old. I put up a video how to witness to atheists, because I think Christians need to understand that the first thing that they need to do before they start talking about Jesus and God, like they actually are real or actually exist or existed, they need to come up with something to show that this is true, that this is so. I'm not going to talk about something that there's absolutely no evidence for its existence, like it's real. And they expect me to. They expect me to talk about God like he's a real thing. Are you going to blame God or Christians? Well, you know what? I'm not going to blame God because I don't think he actually exists. Why don't you ask me if I'm going to blame leprechauns for something? It doesn't exist to me. I'm sorry, I don't think it exists. So yes, I'm going to blame the religion for what it does and how it makes really nice people who happen to be Christians into people that are in your face trying to tell you that you're broken. and that they need to fix you, and if they can't fix you, guess what? You get to be tortured forever in hell. So yeah, I guess I'm an enemy. I can't come halfway anymore like I used to. I don't see anything good about Christianity anymore. Even when they do good, like we're gonna go on a mission, or we're gonna go help a poor country, or we're gonna do something nice, like have a food line for some city or whatever they do. There's always a catch. There's always a get the captive audience together into a room so we can preach at them. We can't just do something nice and let it be. We have to preach at them. And then we're going to go back to our churches, and we're going to get up behind the pulpit, and we're going to brag about the good works that we did. See, I don't think that's selfless. I think giving is giving. You do something and you walk away and you feel good about it, and that's your reward. You feel good about it. You don't do it because you have a hidden agenda to try to get new converts to join your church, or get new people to ask Jesus into their hearts so your God doesn't torture them forever. Yeah, big rant, really big rant. And the guy is actually nice. He was really nice. I actually felt bad. I finally just said, you know what? I didn't put up a sign that said I wanted to be witnessed to. And I think your God is vile. I don't know how a nice person can justify the crimes against humanity that this God commits in the Old Testament. I don't know how a nice person can justify that. Or why is it so hard for a nice person to understand that their religion is offensive when it says to somebody who doesn't believe, you're going to get tortured forever if you don't believe just like I do? That's offensive. It's upsetting. Anyway, okay, that's all. Just wanted to rant. I don't like to feel like I'm anybody's enemy. I don't think of myself as somebody who wants to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. But I honestly see no virtuous qualities about religion, about Christianity. I shouldn't say religion. There are some religions that I honestly, live and let live. As long as they're live and let live, I don't care. They're fine. It's the religion that's in my face all the time, that's telling me I'm broken all the time, that's telling me I'm going to be punished forever for being broken all the time. And who broke me? If it existed, it would be this God. Anyway. It was a frustration. And I was trying, anyway, I'm done ranting. I could go on and on and on. Just cranky tonight. So anyway, if you've been watching, thank you for putting up with me having the vent fest. And that's it. Bye.